that was tough. This is my dream pedal board, which I built last year. It looks great on the outside. Like most things that does look good on the outside, there is a dark side to this one. So let's get into it. My old pedal board was becoming obsolete and it doesn't really fit my new style and how I perform these days. So I was in the market for, you know, something new that will work. Not necessarily buying new gears, which is not something I wanted to do at that time, but rearrange my board in such a way that it's functional, it's compact, and it's aesthetically pleasing, which is what this pedal was. I had some knowledge on how to build a pedal board. I mean, I've been playing for a while. I've seen people build pedal boards. I know what I want. And so I went into this knowing exactly what I wanted, and I did know what I wanted, and I did what I wanted, and it was perfect. At least so I thought. Until much recent, a year later, the things that I didn't pay much attention to began to show up. And that's one thing about life. If you don't do it correctly the first time, you're gonna do it again and again and again until you finally fix it. Fair enough. I'm grateful for a few friends and for some people that have contributed to helping me troubleshoot what was wrong with my pedal board. I had a gig in Pennsylvania 2 weeks ago, and this guy completely failed. Prior to that, I've had a different gig somewhere and something just happened in between. I lost sound for a few minutes and it came back on. I thought it was the audio engineer or just the XLR out or something, but it turns out it was actually my pedal board, and I definitely did not see that coming until the most recent gig that I had 2 weeks ago when it completely failed. The HX Storm reboots twice. I knew it wasn't my power supply because I have a custom power supply from Barefoot Pedals, Sweetfoot Pedals, I'm not sure. He's on Reverb, he has a stolen Reverb on eBay. I'll leave a link in the description. I'm not affiliated with him whatsoever, but he's an amazing local business and I think you guys should check him out. So he made me a power supply, so I knew it wasn't a power supply. So I had to troubleshoot further, probably because of my, you know, technical background. I know how to troubleshoot stuff, so I started taking each pedal apart and I discovered what the problem was. And this is the most ignored part of your pedal board build. I think most of us guitar players focus solely on the pedals we want to put on the board, and some way, somehow, missing the glue that glues all these pedals together, which is your power strip and your patch cables. I mean, patch cables still get a lot of love, but the power strips, the cable that sends power to your pedal, they're actually more important than we think they are. You can get a high quality one, but if they're not properly arranged, and this is the thing that the pros have pointed out time after time, if they're not arranged in such a functional manner, in properly, you know, tied down, properly arranged, properly, you know, put in the right places, and not just the arrangement this time, the planning. What goes where, which should go after what should be getting what, which is too long, should I use a short cable here? All these are very important factors, and I got to learn this in the hard way. Turns out one of the cables that I was using was defective, and it was defective because it was too long, and I thought it would be perfect because I was taking, it was going to be the last pedal on my board, so I needed a longer cable, which wasn't really very helpful. And the way that I folded it and arranged the cables underneath the board was terrible, still is terrible. So let's fix that. Let's go to my garage now. This is the pedal board. Like I was saying earlier, the big problem here was the fact that power was calling out in the midst of my gig, or in the middle of my gigs. And don't laugh at me, guys. Turns out my cable management was far from being awesome. I'm gonna bring the camera up close so you guys can see here. Take a look at that. Like, this is terrible. Don't you ever have cables flying around like this. It's, to be fair, I did take apart a few things when I was trying to troubleshoot, but even at that, it's still terrible. And this is the power supply I was talking about. It was custom made for me, and it's called Sweetfoot ISO-based pedal. You guys should look him up on Reverb, on eBay, and yeah, support a small business. So this is where the problem is coming from, and I'm gonna try to fix that today. Shout out to the rig doctor. I saw his video on YouTube, Vertex Effects. An amazing, knowledgeable guy, extremely knowledgeable, like very knowledgeable. I saw that video and I said to myself, damn it, you can do way better. So I'm gonna bring all my technical experience and expertise into this pedal build. So yeah, I'm gonna go from looking like this to something way better. Yeah, this is the Cream 2. It's the plush series from the amazing guys here in New Jersey, Fuchs Audio. If you don't know Fuchs, they build amazing amps. The ODS is crazy, way out of my budget though, but they sent me this pedal about 4 or 5 years ago, and I've loved it ever since. It's kind of a tube screamer, but everything you hate about the tube screamer is not here, so it's better. And of course, the big guy needs no introduction, the HX Stomp. When you get dirty, you know, to clean up your sound, I just went with the NS1, nothing fancy here, just noise suppressor. If you don't know what that is, go read about it. And this that I will be throwing away real soon, because I've been trying to love this pedal for a while. This is the D1 version 2 from Walrus. I've been trying to like the pedal, but it just doesn't work for me. Maybe because I'm not using it with MIDI. I don't know what it is, but it's just, the presets are nice, but you know, it's kind of a pain to use on the fly. For a recording session, when you know what you want to do, it's a good pedal, but for like making changes on the fly and live scenarios, I've just had a lot of problem with this. Not functional, but it's hard to explain. I'm probably gonna release this on Reverb soon. And of course, shout out to the guys at Jet Pedals. This is the MIDI controller for the HX Stomp. It's actually a fully customizable MIDI. That was tough. It's a fully customizable MIDI pedal for the HX Stomp. Focus, you focus! Yeah, guy, it's not gonna focus. So what it does is you can do next by clicking 2 buttons, or you can assign an effect to each of the buttons, which I do. My long reverb is always attached to the C. I have my boosts kind of attached to the first one, and then I can switch between presets with this. So it's pretty useful. If you own an HX Stomp, you definitely need to have one, especially when you don't want to have like a full MIDI on your pedal board. It could be really useful. So let me arrange all my pedals here. So what I'm gonna do now that I have a naked pedal board, I'm gonna get rid of all the adhesion here, especially with the cable thingy. They're pretty solid, but they're not properly arranged, which gives room to failure. So I'm gonna take out all these, probably get a heat gun and blow it all away. So what matters most with this upgrade is what I have in this bag. And this are the zip tie mounts. These are the most important parts of making this board usable. I'm gonna put the cables on top of these, mount these on top of the pedal board, put the cables, and then use a zip tie to securely hold them into place. Now, why this is important is the reason I was having most of those problems was because when I move the pedal, or when I transport the pedal from gig to gig, the cables move. Once they move, they lose contact with what they should be connecting with, and that creates a whole lot of problems down the line. And this will secure the cables in place, and it will be only where I need them at any point in time, which is very valuable in this kind of scenario. So I've been playing with my arrangement lately, and this is what I finally decided to work with. I still have my OCD and my 12 pedal I have the D1. This is just holding place for the hard drive, GHS hard drive pedal that's coming. So they're right about the same size. So this is just a placeholder. It's not gonna be here. This is going away. And that is gonna go into my noise suppressor. And noise suppressor is gonna go into HX Stomp, effects loop here. Or it's just gonna go directly, I've not decided yet. And that is gonna go into the Big Sky. And I'm gonna be using the cab filter feature here. And I might not use any cab here, or sometimes I might use cab from here because this has dual cabs. And yeah, it should be a very functional pedal board after all this. So now that I have all the cables all routed out from the front neatly, I'm creating some sort of straight line with this tape that I'm marking here. Ignore how it looks now. The finishing product will be the most important part. So I'm going to pull my zip ties just around this straight line, and I'm going to repeat the same process up here. I'll get rid of all these gunks here, the glue residue from the old adhesive plates, and it should look beautiful from there. And this is a custom made power cable or power supply for me. You see, it has my logo and my name on it. Shout out to Sweetfoot pedals. You can look them up, like I said, in my So what's the lesson here so far? This goes beyond having the next shiny overdrive pedal on your pedal board. It goes beyond having an amazing pedal that you really want. It's beyond having a pedal that is Instagrammable, that you can share nice pictures, aesthetically pleasing pedals. It's way beyond that. This is about you having something that will work and can be utilized and that will serve you over time. And that's the lesson I have learned the hard way. And I wish to pass that lesson over to you guys so you don't make the same mistake that I have made. I focused more on how the pedal appeared on top and totally forgot how the pedal was set up underneath, which was the most important part. It was a nice picture, nice looking pedal board, but under the hood, it was pretty much garbage. And I hope you've learned something. And if you found value in what I do here, you can subscribe, like, and share it with someone that will really need this. And until next time, I'm Mr. Dees, and I'll see you again. Peace. And let me know in the comment section if you have any suggestions of, better wiring techniques or any knowledge or any gig, if you have any embarrassing gig experience, because mine indeed was embarrassing. I had a really embarrassing gig. Thank God for the Pod Express that saved the day, like I mentioned in the last video. Let me know if you guys have any similar embarrassing time when your pedal board failed. Let me know in the comment section, and yeah.